Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Head coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
180. 54 Mike. I got him. Alert flare.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's caught by OBJ.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Following the penalty, Chubb. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. A big play there for Philly. 56 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game, and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
10 more there and another first down. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. The first down run with Chubb is going to go nowhere. He's, in fact, going to lose a couple. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's good for 28 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. North of 100 yards, the two scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point forthcoming. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On the counter, here's McCoy. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wentz going to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Here we go. 180. Check. SOS. Tyson.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing now is Wentz. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So here are the Browns to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Mayfield to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st down, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wentz again. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. First down now, but that clock rolling.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Wentz now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Again, it's Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And as they approach halftime...
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll run on 1st down. Sanders. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is McCoy. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6 at the Browns' 33-yard line. Waiting. 58, come on. I'm coming after you.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down now, it's Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 12 on the year. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have the football at the 20-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another run with Sanders. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Wentz on third down. And Jeffrey's got it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Let's go.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You know, you get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Nice hit, boys.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Wentz, flush to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now McCoy. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come, escaping the pressure right. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
I got you.
Now Sanders, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have. To hold this offense to or less than that, and wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield looks to throw. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Mayfield now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Mayfield with it once more. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is caught. He hits Landry. Still fighting. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. A run for Nick Chubb. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 yards there and a first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And this is incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On 1st down, it's Sanders. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now McCoy. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with Sanders. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Philadelphia, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they fall to defeat for the 2nd time this season, and they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.